Hi and welcome to my channel. So lately a lot of my friends have been asking me how I take self-portraits because they want to pick it up themselves with all the quarantine and isolation happening due to COVID-19. So I figured I might as well just vlog my self-portraits, myself taking self-portraits, so I don't get repetitive and people can just watch my video whenever they kind of need a refreshing or feel like they just want to watch it again for maybe some new insights or new tips. That's why we're starting off like this, because this is how all my self-portraits start, with me looking like a wreck. So how I usually go is I kind of try and get an idea of, I have a very random, so I usually start with a very random feeling of today I want to create, and which leads to me trying to see, okay, like what am I in the mood for? Do I want something light? Do I want something dark? Do I want something very extravagant, or do I want to keep it a little more simple and just not put that much effort into it but still make something? So today I think it's kind of the latter. I'm still kind of deciding, but I think as we go while doing makeup, I'll get a feel of what the end result will be. So that's usually my next step. I think of an idea, I do my makeup, I set up my studio, and I start taking pictures. So it's time to go for the first step, which is doing my makeup, fixing this face, and start making a look of this. We're probably just gonna browse to Pinterest a little bit before I'm gonna actually start painting this face.
2 hours later.
So we're just gonna take portraits today for this video, which means that it's just gonna be my head, my shoulders, a little bit of torso, but that's just gonna be it. So I don't really need to worry about my bottom half, which makes it easier. Let's find a dress, and let's do makeup first. Let's get into makeup.
Eventually.
So here we have the finished look. I put on, it's a little different than intended, but when I was doing my makeup I kind of didn't feel like, I don't know, I didn't really feel what I was doing, so I started over and this is what I ended up with. I intended to do something with this one. I want to light it if I can manage. When I was done and I was looking in the mirror, I was like, huh, this is kind of Red Riding Hood, but I don't have anything red or a hood, so I can't do Red Riding Hood, but I figured I'll just go for something a little bit innocent but twisted. However, I don't know yet how I'm gonna add the twisted. I was thinking about fake blood, but maybe that's a little too much, but I don't know yet. I'll think about it when I set up my studio. So for this look I am using fleece blankets as a background because I'm cheap and I don't have room for an actual studio. So this also shows that you really don't need any fancy equipment for like some okay pictures, because you can basically use any background that you have. also always take self-portraits in portrait mode on the camera. Allows you for way more framing and better framing as well, because you just have that extra bit of room. So I set up that I want to use my remote. I also usually set up a 2-second delay that allows me to throw away the remote so that it's not in frame. First test shot. Let's see. I am not in focus, so I will have to try again. The freckles look so good on the screen. Let's take another test shot. So I hope. Now, moment of truth. Camera set up. You're set up. I'm set up. You can start taking pictures. The way I take my pictures is I just start and take some pictures, take some poses. I usually take like 5 to 10 pictures, and then I start and then I go to my camera, see if it like is what I want it to be, and then I take another couple pictures, and then I get in the props, just so that if the props don't work, I at least have like 1 or 2 pictures that are workable and that I like. And so here we go. One tip is to always make sure that your hands, either your pinky or your thumb, are turned towards the camera. Because if I would pose like this, my hand looks a lot bigger than if I would pose like this. It's also a lot more feminine, if you will. If you have a lot of smooth curves in your frame, more like S-curves, the viewer sees it as more of a feminine picture. Whereas if you really have like really tight angled poses, the viewer sees the picture as more masculine. It's really something you can keep in mind, especially if you're working on storytelling photography. Whether you want the audience to feel soft and emotional, or rugged and manly. And you can even use it to kind of play with your audience and surprise them in a way. So where you have a very, very femininely dressed model and have them in very manly poses, for example. Or have a very manly dressed character, masculine dressed character, and put them in very feminine poses to see what kind of effect that gives. Stuff like that. You can really experiment with it, and rules are meant to be broken, of course, so in that sense, especially in art and creativity, I think it's time for props. So we're gonna see how this is gonna look. Let's try it, shall we? Another tip I have for you is if you're taking portraits, make sure, I'm going to show you, make sure that whenever you're facing the camera straight on or on the side, I'm going to show it like you on the side so you can see what's happening. If I'm just taking a picture, I look like this, which means that I have a lot of skin here, which is fine because we love our chocolate. But it's not necessarily pretty. Oops, almost set my hair on fire. It's not necessarily nice looking on a picture. You can also see it here. This is where my jaw is. So all of this is, well, it's sticking out. Of course, we don't really like the beauty standards, but we do like to look good on pictures. So the tip I have for you, push your chin out. So this gets a little stretch. Put your chin out. Put your head down a little bit, and it looks really silly, but it works. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna look like this. This is normal. This is with the picture. or with the trick, not a picture. This is with the trick. It's very small, but there is a difference. I've also done portraits where I'm just entirely unhappy with the complete result, and that's fine too. That's the thing with something creative. As long as you did it, it's fine. Especially if you're just doing it for fun. It's okay to not be okay with what you created, as long as you don't, let it get to you. As long as you make sure that you keep creating, if you keep liking it, of course. Don't let it get to you too much if you made something that you feel didn't work out. Just take a note of what you think you didn't like or what you noticed didn't go well. Whatever is the case, keep that in mind for the next time, so that the next time you can do it right. Or you can do it better at least. Make self-portraits and you use my video as kind of help in a way, please tag me in your pictures so I can see them, because I'm really curious. Let me know, it would be fun, and we can kind of grow together that way. So hope to see you soon, and have a nice day. Stay calm, stay cool, everything will be fine. Take your time, take your rest, and be creative.